The likelihood of infidelity within the first year of a relationship with a narcissist is staggering, ranging from 85% to 97%. And to make matters worse, 59% of these infidelities aren't just one-time events, they are recurring patterns. But perhaps the most troubling aspect is how many of these betrayals remain undetected for a long time. The behaviors that usually trigger suspicions of infidelity are, in this case, as useless as attempting a logical discussion with a narcissist. These conventional warning signs don't apply in this scenario. They are simply irrelevant. Infidelity, in the world of narcissists, is a completely different beast, motivated by entirely different forces. The nature of the affair depends entirely on what the narcissist wants to achieve or what kind of reward they're after. Whether it's a fleeting one-night stand, a long-term secret affair with no intention of abandoning either partner, or a calculated grooming of a new supply to replace you after the discard, it all serves a unique narcissistic purpose. Remember this above all else. Everything a narcissist does is intentional, crafted to maintain or expand their control and to dominate any situation. This is why their behavior is often erratic and inconsistent. They've learned early on that the best way to keep control of a conversation or any interaction is to keep you in a constant state of confusion, making sure you're mentally disoriented and unable to see the truth. It's almost as if you undergo a psychological lobotomy, your mind spinning in circles, caught in a whirlwind of unanswered questions, while they continue unchecked in their deceitful ways. And here's the kicker. The most blatant sign of all will likely come from within, right in front of you, so audacious that it's hard to fathom. You might think, no one would be foolish enough to act this way if they were cheating, right? But that's exactly how they operate, so bold, so careless with their actions that you'll dismiss the possibility. It's almost as if you can't believe anyone would be that brazen. In the early stages of any relationship, most people put in extra effort, including tweaking their appearance just a little bit. But narcissists, they don't just turn it up a notch. They go full throttle, like they're on some kind of extreme makeover. Within mere weeks, they've signed up for a gym membership, started tanning, bought an entirely new wardrobe, and even started grooming parts of their body that you'd never imagined they'd care about. It's as if they're prepping for a photo shoot, and you're left wondering, is a salon sponsoring this transformation? They've gone from 0 to 60 in no time, and yet, somehow, they casually mention it was just something they decided to do on a whim. No prior indication, no prior mention. When you ask about it, they'll brush it off as if it's all for you, all to make the relationship better, a fresh change for the both of you. But here's the catch. While these changes seem like they're for you, they're actually part of an ongoing affair they don't want you to know about. The reason you overlook it is that their new, improved self is framed as an enhancement for your relationship. And yet, alongside this new appearance, their routine has subtly shifted, with behaviors they never displayed before, small, unusual signs that tug at your intuition. You're left feeling something's off, but when you voice your concerns, they'll gaslight you, joking it off, dismissing it, and reassuring you that everything is fine. They make it so lighthearted, so casual, that you convince yourself there's no way it could be what you suspect. And that's exactly what they want. You doubting yourself, putting your suspicions aside, and allowing them to continue their deception. By playing the jokey, everything's cool card, they escape scrutiny and buy themselves time. Time to weave their web of lies even further. They've got a get-out-of-jail-free card, and they'll use it whenever necessary, making sure they're still in control of the narrative, with you none the wiser. For instance, I remember a time when I took a little trip to the beach with Satan. We had just arrived, and as I began unpacking our things, I made an unexpected discovery at the bottom of his gym bag. A condom. A bag he exclusively used for extra clothes for the gym, mind you. Without a shadow of a doubt, I knew this condom had absolutely nothing to do with me. Its purchase, its intended use, or why it was tucked away in his bag that had somehow made its way on this trip. So I confronted him. Without missing a beat, he locked eyes with me, his voice dripping with the kind of confidence only a narcissist can muster, and said, "Oh, must have come with the bag." Like it was the most natural thing in the world, like Nike, Adidas, or Under Armour were throwing in free condoms with their gym bags as a promotional bonus. I could hardly process it, but he stuck to this absurd story. That is, until the look of disbelief on my face didn't fade. He then pivoted, projecting the blame onto me in a lightly joking manner, which eventually became a running joke with our neighbors. It started with team outings to build morale, his new weekly ritual on Fridays, soon dubbed Black Condom Friday. It was his way of normalizing the abnormal, a joke wrapped in layers of gaslighting. And because I had already been mentally and emotionally hijacked by this ongoing psychological lobotomy, I couldn't help but let my gut instinct slip away. Slowly, I realized what was happening. The signs were glaring, but my emotional connection kept me trapped in denial. But here's the real kicker. When this all unfolds during the discard phase, it becomes a different game. At this point, the narcissist's strategy is to make you question everything, including the possibility of infidelity, even though they'll never come clean about their deliberate betrayal. You're already trauma bonded, doing everything in your power to salvage this crumbling relationship, desperate for any sign of change, a miracle. And that's when the obvious signs begin to show, not just in their appearance, but in blatant details: lipstick stains on their clothes, the lingering scent of someone else's perfume, a cold and distant demeanor that makes you feel increasingly isolated. These are deliberate signals meant to escalate your anxiety and make you fight harder for a relationship that's already been poisoned. They know it. You're too caught up in this emotional chaos to see that they are slowly pushing you into the depths of your own despair, all while they groom their new source of supply. And then there's the next phase of their manipulation, the accusations. When you confront them with any of these overt signs, they will flip the script, accusing you of being the one who's cheating. It's a calculated move because they know exactly what they're doing and they're tracking you, so they can continue their behavior without fear of being caught. These accusations are just another form of projection, another way for them to deflect guilt and keep you off balance. One of the most glaring signs during the discard phase, though, is the shift in their sexual behavior. The frequency will drop off drastically. When they do throw you a bone, you'll notice a significant change in their stamina, their movements. Suddenly, they're experimenting with positions and styles that are foreign to you, almost as if they're trying to audition for a role in a porn movie. It's as though you're having sex with a complete stranger, because in their mind, you are just that, a mere object in their delusional world. And the one-night stands. Unless you catch them red-handed, you'll never know the true extent. They are far more frequent than you might dare to imagine. And no matter how deeply they twist your mind, their trysts have nothing to do with you. Despite how personal they try to make it feel, their infidelities are driven by their need for control, their entitlement to do whatever they want without regard for anyone else. To them, you are not a person. Neither are there other sources of supply, whether it's their mother, their children, their boss, or anyone else. They only see themselves. Everything revolves around their inflated ego, their narcissistic needs. In the end, the best thing you can do is break free. Cut ties and distance yourself from these toxic individuals. They won't stop until they've destroyed you, and honestly, nobody has time for that kind of madness. Fight for yourself, focus on your own well-being, and let go of the narcissist once and for all. Forget them, or better yet, forget them in the most empowering sense.